Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Dangereque, the Roomisode Triangulate. It's been nearly 15 years since the last commercially released Homestar runner game, and now Strongback is back as Dangereque to solve some crimes. Is this retro-themed puzzler worth playing? Let's find out. Dangereque, the Roomisode Triangulate is a point-and-click puzzle game. For my viewers under the age of 30, this game is based on a series of popular Flash cartoons titled Homestar Runner from back in the early 2000s, specifically featuring the luchador mask-wearing and fan favorite Strongbad. In this game, he plays as his alter ego Dangereque, who's essentially a parody of bad 80s cop action movies, all the way down to nearly losing his badge every 5 minutes and generally breaking the law whenever possible. The game itself is a point-and-click adventure game with more than a few nods to Sam and Max. You'll be basically tossed into a room with a particular objective stated early on, such as fabricating evidence or defusing a car bomb. You'll then need to examine and gather items around this single screen to use on other items to solve a handful of small puzzles until the ultimate issue can be resolved. The puzzles themselves are generally pretty good, with only a few veering into adventure game moon logic, and most easily solvable if you get what the game is going for. The main draw is that you can look at, speak to, or touch basically anything, often with unique, colorful commentary from Strongbad, or a few leading to hilarious bad ends. There's 3 rooms in total and a little bonus at the end, and that's it. It's worth mentioning this game was originally released for free as a Flash game, but just the first room and without voices, so this is an expansion of that concept. And honestly, not a ton more to say about this. It's an extremely short little puzzle/adventure game, which you'd play more for your Homestar Runner comedy weirdness rather than any particularly compelling gameplay. So what did I like about Dangereque? Well, if you like Homestar Runner and Strongbad, you'll like this, as it's more of their patented oddball humor mixed with Strongbad's typical cop talk nonsense, and even has a good bit of Coach Z mixed in. Additionally, the game looks authentic to a Windows 3.1 era adventure game, although with a few modern cutscenes. Suffice to say, I really dug the aesthetic overall. And lastly, there's a ton of hidden secrets, Easter eggs, surprise endings, and voice dialogue across the entire game, which as a Homestar Runner fan, I definitely appreciated. When it comes to the bad, if you aren't already familiar with Homestar Runner, there's basically no reason you should be playing this, as a large portion of the game is inside jokes, and you'll need to be familiar with not only the core Homestar Runner universe, but the Dangereque specific side universe in order to fully comprehend. Additionally, even as a Homestar Runner fan, I think this game is way too short for its price. I dawdled and tried to get all of the achievements, and it still only took me 90 minutes to get through, and again, that's trying to find every secret and unique line of dialogue. And lastly, while most of the puzzles are pretty good, the ones that rely too much on wonky logic will probably drive you nuts, and as the game has no hint system, getting stuck is obnoxious. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, and don't bother, and I think this one's pretty cut and dry. If you aren't familiar with Homestar Runner, you should A, go check their stuff out on YouTube, it's hilarious, and B, probably avoid this game as it wasn't made for you. This isn't me gatekeeping either. It's just clear this game is designed to be fan service, and those unfamiliar will probably be confused. If you are familiar with the Brothers Chap's work, I still recommend waiting for it on sale, if only because it's so incredibly short. At its asking price, I'd expect at least 5 rooms or maybe even 10, not just 3, and if I were really pessimistic, I'd say you could get the full experience from a YouTube walkthrough. Still, it's great to see the Brothers Chap still pulling this stuff out, and here's hoping we get more Homestar related content in the future. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Are you a Homestar Runner person? Are you ancient like me and remember watching it on library computers growing up? Please let me know in the comments. But regardless, if you are a Homestar Runner fan, maybe give this Dangereque game a look.